Well, we're back again for another Free Agent Friday, and today I've got Tanner Worley with me. Thanks for joining me, Tanner.
No problem. Happy to. Glad to spend some time with you.
Yeah, well, let's jump into it. Tell me about your college experience. Where'd you go to school? What degrees do you have?
Yeah, no. So I went to Texas A&M, like many other people in Texas find their way to. So I went there, majored in sports management, and have a business minor as well. So I actually ended up picking up a few degrees into my MBA right after college. I didn't finish it, but yeah, it was a really good time for us Aggies. First year Johnny Football
Okay.
was I got him. A little fun fact about that, actually, I met Johnny in Dallas the night before the Arkansas game when he was a freshman. Just the quietest guy. We had dinner together. It was just like a group of us. Really nice guy. And
What the
then
hell happened?
everything happened.
That
It's very
fame,
interesting
man.
to look back on.
Tell you what, man, you start that ego starts growing a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely
Changes
changed
people
things.
big time. So, at what point did you decide like you wanted to get into sports?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I didn't really know, honestly, until I took an internship. I knew I wanted, I like that world. It's, at least for my father and my brother, it's really just following your passion. And that was mine as a child, and I think as most kids. I didn't really learn that it actually could become an option until I took an internship with the Houston Dynamo. Really, all I knew was ticket sales. But when I went to the Dynamo, I got the sponsorship side and the client activation side. And at that point I knew, hey, if I'm going to do this sports, I want to be on the sponsorship client side. That's where I want to be. So that was kind of the first taste of it. Was pretty late into my college career when I realized, oh, this is going to be a real option for me. So,
You know what though? From doing all these Free Agent Fridays, I mean, it's a common theme. I mean,
yeah.
and I look at it, I'm like, well, hell, I'm 41, and sometimes I feel like I don't know what the hell I want to do. So,
Yeah.
so it's a lot coming out of school, and then opening your eyes to a whole different world that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, and I think you learn, especially from the internship side, you learn a lot more what makes a sports organization, team, league, what all makes that tick. It just, from the outside looking in, you can see a few pieces, but there's so much more to a team or league, which means there's more opportunity.
So what do you you did an internship with the Houston Dynamo? Any other
That was
internships?
my only major internship. I actually ran a business when I was in college.
Okay. What kind of business?
Those bounce houses, those little blow-up houses. I actually ran a company. It actually paid for my entire college. I started it with my brother in high school. I ran all the way through college.
Just hustling, man. I love it.
Yeah, you just got to. So
yeah. All right. So you got the Houston Dynamo. What was your next venture in sports?
Yeah, so I ended up moving to Dallas after that with Learfield. This is before Learfield IMG Super Company. This is back when it was, I think at the time, 54 schools. So before all the acquisitions.
I think they do almost every school now.
Yeah, pretty small shop back then. So I got in there on the research side, and that's where I really found kind of this niche of the sports sponsorship research, and really kind of found my passion and really what I have a lot of experience in now. But that's kind of where I started. And that was great because I got to see Learfield transition to acquiring Nelligan and a few other companies to really grow to, I think, the first time around there at 120 schools when I was there. Okay. So it grew a lot over time, which was great for me being a young guy out of college to really be at a very stable corporate structure like that and get to work all across the country with these different schools and different markets and helping guys sell and close sponsorship deals.
So what kind of research were you doing?
Yeah, so it mainly focused around working with Nielsen Scarborough at the time. That was kind of the main tool that we were using. Obviously, there's a lot more now, but that was what we're using then. So looking at demographics and buying habits, but also that's kind of where I cut my teeth on custom survey writing. So looking at brand awareness, brand lift studies, things along those lines. So for a while there, if you took a survey from a Learfield property, there's a chance I wrote that survey between this little window of time, which is really good. And that's another passion I found. And when it comes to research and writing custom surveys, I really believe in stuff like that. I think that's the best case when it comes to trying to find this ROI that everyone's looking for.
So kind of walk me through the rest of your resume.
Yeah. So went to Learfield, loved my time there. As a young guy, I was helping some of these really experienced guys assist them in closing some major deals across the country. And I thought, well, you know what, I want to give that a go. I'd like to, try my hand at selling. So I wanted that opportunity. At the time I was dating my wife, I didn't want to leave DFW, even though Learfield offered me a great opportunity at Army in upstate New York,
Nice.
which was a great property, a great brand. But I ended up moving to actually FC Dallas, so just up the road in Frisco. Great team there, with a lot of great people there. A lot of them are still there. Some of them, Matt McKinnis was our VP at the time, who moved to the Cowboys, back to the Cowboys, I'll say. So I did about a year there selling, and then Learfield called me again to help open up a property in Denton at North Texas University.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that was great. I got to go start a property with a great GM, Joe Dominguez, from the ground up. Looking at new assets, building out rate cars, establishes this relationship with the university. I really enjoyed it. It was a great opportunity. But I knew that research was really my passion. I'm glad I got the sales side. It really helped me kind of think about, I used to just hand research over, but now I was the one actually presenting it and pitching it. So it really helped me understand, hey, I need to focus and kind of distill this research so that it's easier for these sales guys to then go and give it to the clients. So it was a great experience for me. And that's when Topgolf actually called me to, the sponsorship world, especially the research. It's a real small one. It's a real niche one. So when things come up, there's usually like a couple of people that get called about it. So I was one of the people that got called. And that was a great opportunity. I mean, I really couldn't turn down getting the chance to kind of build the research department at Topgolf from the ground up on their partnership side, which was awesome. That was a really cool experience. I got to work with the team over in the UK as well. So I got to work all across the country and then internationally, and got to establish a lot of great processes there. And then most recently, Saatchi & Saatchi, working on Toyota. Again, blue chip brand, working across their North American portfolio for their national events, kind of overseeing that strategy and measurement for those. And that was a great opportunity. I couldn't turn that down, but then COVID-19 kind of destroyed all of live events. So, there's no live events. There's nothing that really needs to be measured. So sadly, I got that cut. But it was a great experience getting to work for, again, another blue chip brand, another global brand, more so on the buying side. And that's something I really enjoyed. So
like, what is your ideal position now? Are you looking to be more on the analytics side and research, or the sales side?
Yeah, I think, if there was a world where they both coexist as the same role, that'd be ideal, because I'm very passionate about research and I can sell research. So if that does exist, then I would be all for that. But I think if I'm going to go work for a property or a brand, either one I'm very open to, would be more on the research side. I just think that's more so for my skill set. I bring just more to the table when it comes to an opportunity like that, as opposed to just a pure sales role. So yeah, that would be ideal. In the meantime, I've been doing some projects for some brands kind of on the side, some contract projects with some naming rights evaluations, things along those lines. So I'm picking up small projects as they come up, which is great. It's always good to, keep that muscle strong in terms of,
and stay in that network of people too.
Yeah.
Just stay fresh. Like, with that being said, do you need to stay in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or are you open to relocation?
Yeah, so as of now, I do need a studio in DFW, just for some things that me and my wife are going on. That's not to say that's forever, but that's just kind of the current situation that we're in.
And to be honest, I mean, if you're stuck in one market, I mean, that's not a bad. I mean, there's so many opportunities around there. Obviously, they're limited now, but the hope is that things start progressing back, and you have, all the major leagues, all the minor leagues.
Yeah, there's a lot of great agencies here too. Wasserman just opened up an agency here working for AT&T's business. So, luckily it is, much better to be in this market than Beaumont, Texas.
Than where I'm at right now. Yeah.
So.
So what would you say is like your biggest strength?
Yeah. So I think the ability, and again, you would probably understand it as well. And some of it's not necessarily, I got this similar question from an SMU group that came into Topgolf. I would say just the ability to have been the opportunity of seeing so many different things. So across Major League Soccer, across a lot of college sports of different levels, the ability to have seen professional sports at different levels in terms of sponsorship, assets, and kind of pricing and structure, and how these assets actually play out on the field. And now with Topgolf and Toyota, this live event space. So I just have been blessed to have a lot of experience that I can bring ideally to a brand or a property that's looking at all these different areas to say, I have experience in a lot of these, and I have experience in measuring these. So it's not just saying, hey, should we do this? It's okay. Are we going to do this? And then how are we going to measure this effectively to tell us if this is a good idea or this is working or not? I've been blessed to be able to have done that in a lot of different areas. So I would say that's probably my major, in my opinion, and my ability to just think analytically about, how to use data to not just tell a story, but then make actionable insight. A lot of people can just show spreadsheets, but then if they don't do anything with those spreadsheets, what was the point of making the spreadsheet? So I really like to lean on the ability that I do have the ability to turn that stuff into actionable data that you can use and make decisions off of.
Well, we'll have to talk another time, because I'd love to learn. That's an area that I really have never gotten into. I've always been on the partnership side, or sales, ticketing as well, but I'd love to pick your brain on that some more offline. But what area do you think you need the most work on?
Yeah, I would say when it comes to, especially if it's going to be on a property side, just the selling aspect. I think internally I do a good job selling kind of what I believe in. But if I'm going to be in a sales type position, that's just something that I haven't had to do in a long time. I just haven't had to sell. And it's something that I have experience in. It's just a muscle I haven't flexed in a while. So I'd say more so on that side of things.
How about, how would you define success?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, it's pretty simple. I would say in a perfect world, doing what I love to do, but as a minimum, just providing for my family. At the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. I love what I do, and I love that I get to work in this space. But at the end of the day, it's making sure that my wife and my future kids are provided for. So at the end of the day, it really boils down to that simple fact for me, at least.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think family is, a big part of it. So
yeah.
How about a fun fact about yourself? Give us something good here.
Yeah, so I told you I met Johnny Manziel, which is a fun fact, but also who's this guy hanging out with if he's this guy?
Maybe that's not a good thing.
Maybe not.
What else were you doing?
Cut that. I would say honestly, my party one is that I owned a moonwalk business. That is the one I go to, just because we grew up mowing lawns, me and my brother, and we're like, well, there's got to be a better way to make money, man. And we saw one just like this in a park, and we're like, what is that? And we looked into it and we built this business. And then, it's so funny that we ended up selling it, these two teenagers, or at the time, I guess I was 18 in college when we sold it, but we sold it to grown men. We sold this business. And I think we actually got my dad involved because we felt that they were going to try to really strong arm us at this two 18 and 21-year-old trying to sell this business. But that's probably the funnest fact that I have.
So have you thought about getting back into business again for yourself? I mean, it definitely has pros and cons. I mean,
absolutely. I'm always looking for opportunities. That's why I've done this consulting things on the side, looking at real estate investments. It's always good to have passive income, and then future income, especially when times like this hit, right?
Yeah.
And I've got time to read and study. So I'm always looking. I'm always looking for a hustle. That's for sure.
That's cool. I'm getting ready to start another podcast called Biz Builders. So I need to have you come on that, and we can talk about how you started that. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've, up until January, my last job was when I was 19.
That's awesome.
So I've always kind of been doing my own thing. And let me tell you, it was an adjustment in this position, and ultimately it didn't work out, just due to that. I mean, production and all that stuff was through the roof. It's just not a good fit. And I think, from doing these podcasts and talking to more people, I mean, I think the number one thing is the people.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to be, with the group of people that mesh well, and some great people here, just wasn't vibing. So,
no, I agree. That's what, as a kid coming out of college, I just meshed well with the hiring person at Learfield. And that's what got me the job, and that's what worked. How do you come out of college with this this sponsorship research knowledge. It's just not something that exists.
Typically not right out of school.
We meshed well, and I agree so much with that, and I've been a product of that. So I agree 100%.
Well, I appreciate you joining me. Good luck. We'll try to do what we can to, help get you some exposure. And
I appreciate it.
I definitely want to stay in touch.
Good luck with this. It's clearly picking up. So.
It's been awesome. I'll tell you what, I've met some great people so far. I think I've done 24 that are released and maybe another handful that will be released this week. So, but it's been great. I mean, it's, I'm learning, I'm getting a lot out of this as well personally. So it's kind of like, it's very rewarding too, trying to help people get back in the swing of things. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great idea.